my relationships are commented on a regular basis, like on my Instagram still,
That's
or social media.
crazy.
But meanwhile, all of the men involved, like, and I mean, even like anything not controversial, like with being Punk or Edge or Matt, but like, it's like, I guarantee you they don't get asked about it. Like, I know they don't get asked about it because they're dudes and they, like, it's that double standard
It's
thing.
a non-issue.
You just made the list!
Yeah, and so I think that's at this point the problem. Like what I hold on to, which feeling like the double standard. But I'll tell you, it was not easy. I mean, I mean, for sure, I almost quit like amongst the whole love triangle angle. But I mean, at that point, not only was it so hard, it was also like out of shame. Like, I wasn't proud of the way I conducted myself. And yes, if I had to do it over again, I absolutely would have handled myself different, but I didn't. And so I was very much like,
that's cap! Totally cap!
Like, make the bed, you lie in it, And so and at that point I was kind of just like, I deserve all of these terrible things that everybody's saying to me. I deserve, like, not wanting to wake up every morning.
Oh my God.
Like, and so that was really difficult. And it was really difficult to also, as time passed, like, let myself off the hook. Being like, the only way you can move forward with your life, sure, you learn from your mistakes and you keep going, but like, you have to forgive yourself.
Well, it's also,
Lita, are you really trying to play victim here? You caused all this trouble. Are you kidding me? You didn't want to get up in the morning. You wanted to quit a month after. If you weren't out here being for the streets, messing around with Edge behind Matt Hardy back, if you didn't cause all this drama, none of the stuff would have happened. If you didn't want to be with Matt no more, you should just broke it off then. So all the stuff you say, you wish you could take it back. I'm gonna play this again. That's cap.
That's cap! Totally cap!
You know you lying, Lita. You know you ain't right. See, I see her. I see how she's trying to manipulate this to work in her favor, and I see why the fans still don't have no love for you, Lita. Yeah, she definitely gonna get this work. You gonna be a lion like that, girl. You definitely about to get this work.
Bye-bye, bitch. Bye-bye, bitch.
I said, give me a hell yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
Never gonna give her this work. She deserves this work. But let's continue on with what she had to say. She's just full of it.
so like, I mean, did anything that bad? Like, yeah, it's a thing, but like, everyone relax a little bit. There's a lot worse things that happen and have happened and continue to happen. But yeah, it's like, do you think that you would get that same flack today if that was the case? Or would it be worse because of social media?
Right. I don't know. I mean, so it's interesting because obviously it's like,
You about to get that work, son.
You better be lucky that it did save you, that it's not in social media era, Lita, because you would definitely got that work had it come down to today compared to 2005. So that's the only thing that saved you. But yeah, it would definitely been worse, no doubt about it. Let's continue on this interview.
With age comes wisdom. So it's like, well, it's hard to hypothesize because that just wouldn't happen. Like, you know, like
Sure.
I'm just like, I have a better skill set to communicate and navigate my day to day.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I was, that happened to me, and there was very limited social media at that point. So I could only imagine in that current day and age with social media. But then now, as I think that I would have more, I think I would have some people at least taking my side,
Yeah.
whereas I just felt like literally everyone was against me, and I felt very alone and isolated, and just in a really bad place.
Because also during a time like that, all that anyone is getting is the narrative that is being told on television.
Mhm.
So you had no platform and no voice to be like, hey, here's what really happened, or here's my side of the story, where like, yeah, they just deal with what was projected to them, which was this like juicy story on TV
Yeah.
that was just so intricately woven into what was actually happening in your personal life. But like, you got fed to the wolves.
Yeah, and so Adam and I had talked at the time. We were just like, because we can't unequivocally deny a 100% of what's being put out there, I was not happy with how I conducted myself. I didn't want to like act like I was justifying my actions or trying to make excuses. So we both just chose to be like, you know what, like, we'll just let it run its course. We will just conduct ourselves with grace, especially because at that point Matt was choosing to really take to the internet and get the fans behind him. So we were just choosing, you know what, we're just gonna, like, he can act that way, we're gonna stay quiet.
take it
I
on
don't
the
know
chin,
if that was the best way. Like, I don't even know what would have been the best way, like, given the fallout. Like, how else would I have done that, you know?
Yeah. We don't have to talk about this if you don't want to, but I just, because it came up not all that long ago when you were talking about on your Twitch stream about just the that you went through, and talking about that, the infamous sex scene of you and Edge on Raw, and just what that whole process. Do you want to talk about this or no?
I mean,
It doesn't need to be like headline bull.
Yeah, and then that's what's what happened is it became headline stuff, and I looked at Twitch always as my clubhouse, and also I never like breaking any stories there. I had talked about that I was not cool with doing that. Like, I've talked about that since 2005, and it just never made any headlines. But now, since we've fortunately evolved as a climate and society, it was like shocking, just not that long ago. But yeah, my story's never changed.
Yeah. I mean, it's so funny to like kind of look back now too, to be like, okay, in that situation of like what you had to go through and like the narrative that was being spun about you being like the female involved in that. It's like, it's kind of like, would it be the same today now that women have more merit and more of a platform to kind of stand on, to be like, it takes to the tango, first of all, but to just pin it on you like that and not be able to have a platform to actually tell your own story. But anyways, it's in the past. Who cares?
All right, that was Lita on. It's called Oral Sessions. It's now known as Renee Paquette. It was, as Uncle Jackie said, what they called that. They made a change, as Gilbert stated. It used to be called originally Oral Sessions. Then it became These Sessions. Then it just became Renee Paquette. And that's before she